All right, we're back. Giving you the third section on Booleans. In this lesson, I'm going to cover how to convert other data types into Booleans and how that works and what happens. So I'm here back in my Booleans file, and I'm just going to get rid of it. I want to start clean, except for printing my Boolean. But I'll have an integer. Put that to 5. And what happens if I convert that to a Boolean with the bool function? Give me even a little helper there. If I convert something to a Boolean, I just pass it in between the parentheses. Great. Pass that integer in there, print it. You can take your own guesses at home whether 5 will be true or false. And drum roll, please. 5 is true. Okay, well, if 5 is true, what about -5? We'll try that out. I think maybe all positive numbers are true and maybe negative numbers are false. Negative numbers are also true. I'm gonna ruin your suspense here and just tell you the only integer that is false is 0. Plain 0. Yeah, there we go. But what about -0? Doesn't exist as a real number in our world, but it is a real number in programming. -0 is false in Python. Okay. So to summarize that, any number will be true as long as it's not pure 0. That also counts for floats. I'll do the same thing with floats. Because float is the keyword, I'm going to make my variable name floatnum. Floatnum equals 0.00000001. Such a tiny number. So close to 0, but it's going to be true. Because the operation that Python uses for checking if a number is true is the OR operation. It checks all the bits where it's storing this number, and if any of them are true, or holding something other than a 0, it comes out as true. So again, with floats, I put in 0.0 here, looks like a little face. That will come in as false. Great. I'm just going to type that in text up here. The only number that is false is 0. Great. So what about strings? I'll show you. You can test this at home as well. You can set your Boolean my bool equals bool, converting a string to Boolean, and say, what if we put a word in there? That word will be true. Great, because word is true. It uses the same operation as it does with floats. If there's any information in there with any ones, then it will count as a true. What if we put the string of 0 in there? That looks a little bit different. You can try that, and because instead of being a number, it's stored as a string, it has some information in it, and it's stored with some ones in there somewhere, and it's stored and converted to being true. So the string of 0 is true. I know that's a little bit different from than the integer, or I mean, it looks the same to us because 0 is 0, but the way that Python is considering these is one of them is stored as an integer or a float data type, and one of them stored as a string. And to Python, those are totally different. And I'll show you now. The only string that is considered false is the empty string, which is just 2 quotes next to each other. That tells Python to store a string with nothing in it. And so that will come out as false, because I guess that's a 0, or just non-existent. And that's our basics for converting data types, other data types, into Booleans. I believe next we'll be diving into if and then logic, or if else logic. Hope you enjoyed it. If else logic is where things start to get really cool and useful.